Screen is visible, students? Screen is visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay. Last class we were discussing about the tachometer generator and the closed loop servo motor system. That was the topic of the last class that we ended up. Then today we will be starting with what are called as seal-in circuits. So these seal-in or holding circuits, they are used both for relay logic as well as for the PLC logic applications. These seal-in circuit is a method of maintaining the current flow when the switch is released. After the switch has been pressed and released, even after the switch is in released condition, it still the current is being maintained with the help of these circuits, and such circuits are called as seal-in circuits. Even when the switch is pressed, right, the current will be flowing. When you release the switch, there is open position, so current will not flow. But when this seal-in circuits are used, the current is seen that it is being maintained in the circuit, in the path of the circuit. That is the application of the seal-in circuits. In these types of circuits, the seal-in contact is usually placed in parallel with the device. The seal-in contact or the seal-in circuit is placed parallel with the device. Suppose if a switch is used, right, that switch is placed in parallel with the seal-in contact. Usually it is placed in parallel. It can be used in series also, but it is used in parallel along with the contact. Okay, because there can be bypassing anytime, right? You can use the OR condition there. That is the advantage of using in the parallel condition. If you are using in series, what will happen? There's a continuous path. If one breaks, then the circuit completely breaks, right? But if you are placing it in the parallel path, even though that series circuit breaks, there is a parallel path which will take care of, and it will maintain the current conditions. It will maintain the current in the circuit. This is the reason why it is usually placed in parallel along with the switches or along with the devices. The motor stop or start circuit shown in figure 1 is an example of a seal-in circuit. The next figure shows the seal-in circuit. This is the example of a seal-in circuit. This is the line L1 and L2 line voltages. Then yeah, this is the start switch, that it is normally open, and when the switch is pressed, it will go to closed position. Yes, this stop is in normally closed position. Then when it is energized, it will be open. Okay, this is start, this is stop. Then there is a motor coil. We know the what is a motor coil or a starter coil. It is meant to control the power that is necessary to turn on the motor. To control the power that is necessary to turn on the motor, we are using the starter coils or the motor coil. Okay, then the seal-in contact is connected in parallel with the start switch. The seal-in contact is connected in parallel with the input switch. Let us see the working of this circuit. Suppose if the motor starter coil has to be energized, then which all switches should be in energized position, or which all conditions should be true, so that the rung will become true? Whether only start button is necessary to turn on the motor, or whether stop button is necessary to turn on the motor, or both start and stop are necessary to turn on the motor here. What is the condition? Yes, so this is a start button, this is a stop button. Here, if we energize the start button and when we energize the stop button, only then the motor starter coil will be energized. They are connected in series. They are connected in series. Only when both start and stop button both are energized, then both become true, the rung becomes true, and the motor coil will be energized. Okay. Now, when the start button is released, when start button is released, suppose if start button is released, then there will be no current here in this path, but the current is maintained in the path by this contact called as seal-in contact. It will have a bypass path. There's a bypass path here, okay, which is connected to the line voltage here, and from the line voltage the current flows to the seal-in contact, and how much current is needed to de-energize the motor, to stop the motor, that is passed by this seal-in contact. Hence, the seal-in contact is maintaining the current in the path even the switch is released. Even after the switch is released, the seal-in contact will maintain the current in the path. Okay, this is the advantage of using the seal-in contacts. Hardwired circuit. Hardwired circuit consists of a normally closed stop button in series with the normally open start button. Both are in series. The seal-in auxiliary contact of the starter is connected in parallel with the start button. The seal-in contact is connected parallel with this device, parallel with the start switch. To keep the starter coil energized when the start button is released. Even after start button is released, it is in energized position. The path maintains the current. When this circuit is programmed into a PLC, both start and stop buttons are examined for a closed condition because both buttons must be closed to cause the motor starter to operate. This is an important point. When this circuit is programmed into a PLC, when you are converting the circuit into a PLC ladder rung, both start and stop buttons should be examined for closed condition. Examine if closed. Try to recollect what we discussed. Examine if open, examine if closed instructions, right, at the beginning of this module. Okay. Then because of the closed condition of both start and stop buttons, the circuit is in true condition. The ladder becomes true, and hence it closes to cause the motor starter to operate. This is how it appears in the ladder rung diagram. Okay, this is start. Okay, start coil. This is start, and then this is for the stop. Okay, normally open and normally closed. Okay, this is normally open. This is a stop which is energized when the, that is seal-in contact is energized due to parallel branch. This is energized, hence it is shown in green color. Then the motor coil will be in off state. When both start and stop button both are activated, only then the motor starter coil will be energized and it will be turned on. Okay, this is a ladder logic program or the ladder rung program for the motor control circuit. We are using the seal-in circuits. This is about the programmed seal-in circuits or the what are being used here, seal-in contacts or the seal-in circuits. Any difficulty here, students, in the seal-in circuit? Any questions on the seal-in circuit? Are you able to hear me, students? Students?
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
No doubts? Okay,
No doubt.
right. Okay, okay. Next part is latching relays. Electromagnetic latching relays, these are designed to hold the relay closed after the power has been removed from the coil. Suppose if you are removing the power from the coil, if the coil is de-energized, then the relay will be held in closed condition. It is related to relays. Okay. Previous one what we studied, it is seal-in circuit to maintain the current in the path. This is for maintaining the current in the path when the switch is in released state. When the switch has been released, to maintain the current, this is used, seal-in circuits. Then next comes the relays, and in particular they are called as latching relays. These latching relays are meant to hold the relay in closed state even after the power has been removed from the coil of the relay. We have studied the working of the relay. I have explained you the diagram, with diagram the working of the relay. How it works? There is a coil. When the coil is energized, right, that is connected to the armature, and that is connected to, due to spring action, it is connected, right, and it is connected to the contact. Armature is connected to the contact. Okay, either it may be normally open position or the relay may be normally closed position. When you energize the coil, what is happening there? The contact will get closed. If it is normally open initially, if it is normally open initially, it will get closed. If it is normally closed initially, it will get opened. Yes, that is how the relay is acting. Here, if when the power is removed from the relay or from the relay coil, it will become de-energized. Then the contact will not get closed or open. But these latching relays, they hold the relay in closed state even after the power has been removed from the coil of the relay. Let us see how it is done. Latching relays are used where it is necessary for contacts to stay open or closed even though the coil is energized only momentarily. Even though the relay coil is energized for a short span of time, after the removal of power from the coil of the relay can be held in its closed state or in its open state. That is the application of this latching relays. The next figure shows a latching relay which uses two coils. Okay. Next figure will be seeing the figure of the latching relays here. Let us look into this figure. Here we have two coils, latch coil and unlatch coil. This relay coiling circuit has two coils. One is called as latch coil, another one is called as unlatch coil at the output. Okay, this is at your input side. You are pressing the switch. Okay, when you press the switch, this coil gets energized, and when you press this switch, the unlatch coil gets energized. Okay. Latch coil is momentarily energized to set the latch and hold the relay in the latch position. When this switch is closed, latch coil will be energized. Correct? When latch coil is energized, the meaning of latching is this coil is energized. Okay. Now, when this coil is energized, it's what is the status of this coil when it is energized? Status of the coil. How do represent the status of the coil? Either with the 1 or 0. Yes or no? When the coil is energized, what is its status? What is the status of this latch coil when it is energized? 1 or 0?
1.
1. Exactly. It is 1 because it is in energized state. Correct? Excuse me. When it is stored as a 1 in the image file, in the bit image file of the memory, it is stored as 1. Let us say we release this switch. We release this switch. Because of the action of this latch coil, whatever status 1 is stored in the memory, that is retained even after the switch is released. That is the meaning of latching. Latching means we say it is latched. Data is latched. Data is latched means it is stored. It is not only stored even after the but even after the power has been taken back, power has been off. Right? When we turn off the power to the relay coil, whatever bit is stored, that will remain in the memory bit of the image file. It will not be deleted. It will not be reset. Okay, that is the meaning of latching. When it remains that bit, whatever is the condition, that can be used further for any of the applications. Next switch, this off switch. When we energize this off switch, then the unlatch coil will be energized. When we press this off switch, the unlatch coil will be energized. The meaning of unlatch means to make the bit 0, to de-energize. Before this unlatch coil is energized or activated, what is the status of the bit in the memory? It is 1. because of the latch coil energized, it is 1, right? But when unlatched coil is energized, this 1 will become 0. 1 will become 0. This is the function of the unlatched coil. The unlatched coil, what it will do? It will reset the bit. Resetting means making it 0. Setting means making it 1. Remember, always set means 1, reset means 0. Okay. This unlatched coil will reset the bit. That is, it will make the bit whatever is stored in the memory of the image file, that will be made 0. Okay. It is the opposite action as that of the latch coil. But because of the relay contact here, because of the relay contact which is used, right? This is our relay contact. What it is doing, this relay contact and this latching arrangement, it will be in the latch state or in the unlatched state, depending upon which coil is energized. If latch coil is energized, it will be in the energized state and the bit will be 1. If it is unlatched coil is energized, then the resetting of bit takes place and it will become 0. Now, because of this relay contact, it is in unlatched position. Why it is in unlatched position is, this is normally open, right? How to represent normally open and normally closed? We have seen in the last class. Symbols. Try to recollect the symbols of normally open and normally closed relay contacts. Here it is. So this is NO, normally open, normally open. Okay, if there is a cross mark, it is normally closed, normally closed. Yes,
Sir,
this is
normally open means examine if closed, no?
no. Don't try to mix up these with that. Okay, what I mean to say here is, this is the contact. What just now you are saying is, examine if open, examine if closed. They are called as internal bits. Internal bits or storage bits, what we studied at the beginning, right? So these examine if open or examine if closed, they are meant for to only provide the output. They are not controlling anything. They are not controlling anything. They are just meant to provide the output, not for controlling purpose, just for the status. Output is obtained, yes or no. They do not control anything. Okay, and these examine if open and examine if closed, I will come to there. Examine if open and examine if closed, can see here. So how this examine if open are represented? It is like this. This is examine if open. Okay, this is how they are represented. This is examine if open. If there's a cross mark, it is examine if closed. We'll see them. Look here. These are the internal relay contacts. Internal relay contacts are the storage bits which are meant only to check the status. Okay, they are not meant to control the field devices. And then we have examine if closed, examine if open. Okay, examine if closed means it is on condition. It is also called examine if on. Examine if open is, it is also called examine if open. Examine if closed is also called examine if on. Examine if open, it is also called as examine if off. Okay, examine if closed, examine is off. Examine if on, examine if off. Okay, we'll see them. You all can just recollect what we discussed here. Examine if open instruction. This is examine if open. Okay, there's a cross mark here. This is examine if open. Okay, the programming that we studied earlier, this is examine if open instruction, XIO, or examine if off. Okay, then examine if closed. This is examine if closed. Examine if closed. So examine if closed means it is normal. If it is examine if open, there will be a line like this, crossed line. Okay. Examine if closed, that is examine if on. Closed condition, it is a switch is closed, so it is on state. Current is flowing. Correct. This is the symbol. So just look how it is. It is just like a opening and closing brackets. I mentioned there when I was discussing opening and closing brackets, right? Square brackets that will give us examine if closed and examine if open instructions. Yes. So this is how they are represented here. This is examine if open. There's a cross line. It's a cross line. Okay. You got that, Inoj? Inoj?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. This is a contact which is normally open. When it is normally open, what will happen? The current will not be flowing and the pilot light will be off state. It will go into off state. Okay. So it is in unlatched position. Unlatched position because whatever is being latched, it is being due to normally open state of the relay contact, and then due to unlatched condition of the coil, what is happening here? The pilot light will be in off state because this is in normally open state. Due to normally open state, the current cannot flow or it will not flow, and because of this, the pilot light will be in the off state. The latch coil is momentarily energized to set the latch and hold the relay in the latch position. The unlatched or release coil is momentarily energized to return the relay to the unlatched position. Above figure shows a hardwired control circuit for an electromagnetic latching relay. Electromagnetic latching relay. The operation is as follows. Contact is shown with the relay in the unlatched position. Whatever contact is shown is it is with the relay in the unlatched position. In this state, the circuit to the pilot light is open and so the light is off. The circuit is in open state. The contact here it is in open state and hence the pilot light will be in the off state. Let us look at few of the instructions here. One is the OTL instruction, output latch. OTL, this sets the bit to 1. This is for latching condition, for the latching relay. Okay, the instruction that is used is OTL, output latch. The function of this output latch instruction is OTL sets the bit to 1 when the rung becomes true. If the rung becomes true condition, then this OTL instruction will set the bit. That means in the memory, it will store the bit as 1 permanently until it is unlatched. Okay, and returns its state and retains its state when the rung loses continuity or the power cycle occurs. Or power cycle when it is off, or when the rung loses its continuity, even then the 1 will be stored in the image file of the memory. Next instruction, OTU, output unlatch. Output unlatch. This OTU resets the bit to 0 when the rung becomes true and retains it. OTU output unlatch, it is for resetting. OTL for setting the bit, for making the bit 1. OTU output unlatch for resetting the bit or making the bit 0 when the rung becomes true and retains it. When the on button is momentarily activated, latch coil is energized to set the relay to its latch position. The contacts close, completing the circuit to the pilot light, and so the light is switched on. When we turn on the on button, the latch coil is energized. Okay, here it is. This is the description of this diagram. When we press this on switch, its contact gets closed here, the switch gets closed, right? And this is normally closed contact, normally closed. Examine if closed condition. Yes, of course it is closed condition here because the switch is closed. So the condition becomes true, and then the output will be latched. This is for latching the output. This is latch coil. L stands for latch coil. The output of the rung that is 1, that is true or high, that will be latched in the memory, and the pilot light will be turned on. Let us check for the second rung. For the second rung, it is connected with the off switch. When the off switch is energized, the normally closed, it is normally closed. Yes, of course the current flows in the path. Okay, it is continuity, there is a continuity maintained, the current flows and there is a continuity maintained here. Okay, according to our logic. And then here the unlatched coil will be activated in the rung. When this unlatched coil will be activated, then whatever bit is set, that will become 0 and the pilot light will be turned off. If we look into this O:2/5, O:2/5, that is The same bit in the image file is used for the latch coil status and also for the unlatched coil status. The same bit number 5, the slot number 2, bit number 5. This is used for storing the condition of the latch and also the condition of the unlatched coil. Relay coil does not have to be continuously energized to hold the contacts closed and keep the light on. It need not be that the contact should be continuously closed or the switch is continuously closed. Even when the switch is released, because of the latching condition, the one will be there and the pilot light will be still glowing. It will be still in the on state, in the turned on state. When the off button, it is the only way to switch the lamp off is to actuate the off button, which will energize the unlatched coil and return the contacts to their open, that is unlatched state. Now let us look into the operation of the program. It is like this. Both the latch, this is the program, ladder rung program, is it not? It's a ladder rung program. Both the latch and the unlatched coil have the same address. Both are having the same address, latch coil and unlatched coil O:/5. It is output image file, slot number 2, bit number 5. When the on push button I:1/0 is momentarily actuated, the latch rung becomes true and the latch status bit O:2/5 is set to 1, and so the output is switched on. Push button, it is connected to I:1/0. I:1/0 means input image file, slot number 1, bit number 0. Then the next switch, this is I stands for input image, then 1 is for slot, 1 for the bit. When the off push button is momentarily actuated, the unlatched rung becomes true and the latch status is reset back to 0, and hence the light will be in off state. When we press the off button or the push button, off push button, it is actuated, unlatched coil will be energized, because of which the bit will be reset or becomes 0, and hence the pilot light will be off state. The status bit will remain reset to 0 when the push button is released and logical continuity of the latch rung is lost. There is no logical continuity because the off switch has been released and the push button is released, not the off switch, on switch, this switch. The on switch is released, there is no continuity, it's 0, and hence there will be no logical continuity or the rung will not become true. After the unlatched condition I'm talking. I'm telling after the unlatched condition, because unlatched condition has made the bit 0 here to be stored in this bit number 5. Yes, after the unlatched condition, if you release the switch here, okay, this switch, if you are releasing, if you are bringing it back to normal state, then there will be unlatched condition only remaining, and hence the indicator will be still in the off state. Next is water level control in the tank. Any difficulty here, students, in this ladder rung diagram? Anything not understood in this? Was it clear? This ladder rung diagram? Any difficulty here, students?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll proceed. Next is controlling the water level in the tank. First, let us try to analyze the process here. This is the process used to control the level of water in the storage tank. This is the water level in the tank. We have on-off switch to turn on the process control and off switch to turn off the process control. Then there is a manual or auto switch, manual or automatic switch for controlling manually after turning on and off, or for turning off manually, or automatically turn on and automatically turn off. A high sensor switch to sense the high status of the level in the tank. Low sensor switch to sense the low level in the storage tank. Once the status is high, suppose say the status is high here, high sensor switch senses that, and it will indicate high level with the yellow indicator. Yellow indicator indicates that it is high level. Suppose the level of the water is almost low, it is in low state. In low state, then the low sensor switch is activated and the red LED will be turned on. Red LED will glow to indicate the low level in the storage tank. Fine. Then once the low level is reached, it means that the water has to be pumped, pump the motor, and see that the water level is maintained. Okay, that is how we are pumping the water. If the low level is reached, if the low level is reached, we have to pump the water. Okay? We have to pump the water and see that again the level is brought back to its normal state or to its high state. Then green light. This green light is for indicating the pump in running state. This for indicating the pump is in running state. That is the indication for the status in running condition. Okay, so these are the just the diagrammatic description of the process used to control the level of water in the storage tank. Let us see it with the help of rung diagram next. This is for controlling the level of water in a storage tank by the discharge pump on or off, by turning on a discharge pump on or off. Okay, the modes of operation are as follows. Off position, the water pump will stop if it is running and will not start if it is stopped. What is meant by off position? When you are turning the motor off, it means that the water pump will stop pumping, okay, and will not start if it is stopped. Once it is stopped, it cannot start until you manually start it, or it starts automatically. It cannot start. Manual mode, the pump will start if the water in the tank is at any level except low. The pump will start to pump the water, okay. When it will start to pump the water from the tank, it is at any other level other than the low level. When it is at low level, it requires again the water to be brought back to its normal state or its high state or in normal state. But when it is in low state, the water has to be pumped for that and brought to its normal state. If it is in any other state, then the water can be easily pumped from the, that is the storage tank. The pump will start if the water in the tank is at any level except the low state. Automatic mode, the level of water in the tank reaches a high point. The water level reaches a high point, the pump will start so that water can be removed from the tank, thus lowering the level. If it is at high level, the pump will start to work. It will remove the water from the tank, okay, so that it is brought to its normal state. Until its normal state, it will start to pump. So it is just like the overhead tank pumping the water from the one tank to other tank using your motor pumps. Is it not? Using the pump set, what we do, that for example for household application, we pump the water from the that is the tank which is at the downstairs of our house to the overhead tank which is at the upper floor of our house, or to the roof of our house, right, terrace of our house. We pump the water, is it not? That pumping process is nothing but as good as this application. When the water level reaches a low point, the pump will stop. And which are the status indicating lights here? Water pumping, that is in running condition, it will indicate, it is indicated by green light. Low water level status, it is indicated by red light, and high water level status indicated by the yellow light. This is the ladder diagram for the level of water control in the storage tank. Let's try to understand here. This is the input module wiring connection. This is our ladder diagram, and this is the output module wiring connection. Now this switch is on-off switch. For the on-off switch, it is represented here. This is our on-off switch. Okay. Now this is on-off. It is when this is normally closed. That means when it is in on-off position, normally closed position. Okay. Then what will happen due to closed position? If it is closed, then other parts will be activated and the motor will get energized. Suppose if on off switch is open state, then this will get deactivated. Normally closed switch will get deactivated because it will be examining normally if closed. If it is normally open here, that means there is no power supply to the motor. There is no power supply to the motor, right? And hence the motor will be in off state until the on off switch is in brought to its on state. Correct. Next, let us say we have pressed this on off switch and then it detects this normally closed on off contact. Okay, internal contact. This will be normally on off. It is normally closed. Examine if closed condition. So it is closed. On off switch is closed. Yes. Try to pay concentration here. So now this on off switch is closed now. So this is normally closed now. Okay. Now let us say manual auto mode. Okay, this is manual or auto mode. Suppose this manual or auto mode, this is normally open, right? That is examine if open, not normally open, examine if open. So this manual or auto switch is open state. It is examine if open. This is energized. Okay. Then low sensor switch is, this is normally closed. Okay. So here when the power flows from here, then low sensor switch will be activated or deactivated. Low sensor switch, it will be activated if you have closed the low sensor switch here. Is it not? If the low sensor switch is in closed position here, this is called a symbol of the limit switch that we discussed in the previous class. And this is the selector switch. Manual auto mode, this is a selector switch. Okay, this is the symbol of the limit switches. That is when the current reaches a particular limit, only then they will be activated. So low sensor switch, when it is closed, so this will get closed here. Okay, only then it will turn on. This is already in the on off state. It is on state. So this is closed and the motor will be energized. Simple. Okay. So how it operates here for the first trunk, I will explain once again. This is on off. This is closed on off. So this is closed. Examine if closed. Okay. This is activated. Then manual or auto mode. This is open state. This is energized. Normally of open, manual or auto mode. This is energized. But when this will be energized? Only when this limit switch is in closed position. So we are closing this low sensor switch. So this will get activated, low sensor switch. Okay. And then the on off will be closed and the motor will be energized. Motor will be energized. Correct? That means once the level is low, we are pumping the water into the storage tank. We are pumping the water. Try to visualize like this. We are pumping the water into the storage tank to make the height of the water level bring back to its normal state or to its high state. Okay. So this is the motor we have energized. Okay. Then for a second, the parallel branch, what is happening? Manual bar auto mode. This is normally closed. Suppose if say we are closing this manual bar auto, we are pressing it. It is brought to its closed condition. Then manual bar auto mode. This contact will be examine if closed. It is closed. Then latch or unlatch. This is also closed. Latch or unlatch. If you are energizing this, then what will happen? The latch will act, and then we are either latching the output, this output, or we are unlatching the output. Okay. For latching the output from this sensor switches or unlatching the output from the sensor switches, we are using the latch bar unlatch contact here. Okay, latch bar unlatch contact. This will make the status of the switches, whatever we are obtaining, to be latched here. Okay, and then based on the latch condition, the motor will be energized or de-energized. If it is in one state, motor will be energized. The status of the latch or unlatch is 0, then the motor will be de-energized. Come to the second rung. Manual bar auto. So this is manual bar auto. This is closed. That means this is in closed position. Examine if closed. Then high sensor switch. High sensor switch, we are closing this high sensor switch. So once this high sensor switch closes, what it indicates? It is energizing the latch coil. Okay, high sensor switch, and it indicates the high level at the output here. Okay, that is given by this high sensor switch. Here you can see in the ladder number 6, ladder rung 6. Okay, rung 6, high sensor switch is activated, and because of which the yellow light will be glowing, or the yellow indicator will be turned on, because it indicates high level in the tank. High level in the tank here. one, high level, high sensor switch. And this is the high level. Once it indicates the high level, the yellow will be turned on. Yellow indicator will be turned on. It is energized. Okay. Next, come to the third rung. Third rung. Manual bar auto. Manual bar auto. It is closed. This is examine if closed. Low sensor switch. This is examine if open. Examine if open. So we are releasing the low sensor switch. We are releasing the low sensor switch. That means that output is sent to unlatched coil. Whatever we had latched earlier, whatever condition we had latched earlier, when the low sensor switch was sensed here, when this low sensor switch is energized, when it is in low state, whatever condition we had latched, either 1 or 0, so that will be unlatched now. That we are unlatching, because now the water has started to pump into the tank. If it is in low state, the water started to pump in the tank. Once it reaches to a level or normal level, we'll unlatch that condition. We'll unlatch the condition. We don't require that status now, previous status. So we are unlatching that. We are unlatching that status. It is in manual bar auto mode, low sensor switch. This will be examine if open. So this we are releasing it, low sensor switch, because the water has now pumped. Some water has been pumped into the tank. So it is released, and then whatever previous latched condition was there, that is also unlatched. Okay. Then for the parallel branch, manual bar auto mode, this is examine if open. Examine if open. Okay. So it is open now. Examine if open. If it is open, then it is energized. And then also, if it is open state, manual or auto mode, if it is open, then we don't need the latch condition, because it is an open state, and hence what we are doing, we are unlatching the whatever we have stored. We don't need it because it is in manual bar auto mode, is it not? We don't need it. We have released this manual bar auto mode. It is in original position, initial position, and hence we are unlatching the data. Then move to the fourth rung. This is for the motor. Just I told when I came to the first rung, that is motor is energized when this path is energized. The rung 1 is energized, complete rung 1. When motor is energized here, okay, what is happening due to closed condition of the motor? This is not examine if closed. Examine if closed. So motor is energized, and hence the green LED will be turned on. What is the green LED indicating? You can look here, status of the green LED, pump running. The pump is in running state. Then fifth rung, I explained here when I explained that is a low sensor switch. The third path, what I told there, the low sensor switch, when this rung is activated, ladder, that is rung 3, the unlatched coil is energized. Okay, when it is energized, low sensor switch, when we are deactivated, examine if open here, when we release this low sensor switch, then what is happening? This red status, whatever was there, that will be turned off. That will be turned off. It is turned off because it will be turned on only when low sensor switch is activated. When the tank is in low position here, not low position here, when that level of the tank is low, then the sensor switch is activated and the red LED will glow. Red indicator will glow. This one, red will glow, indicating low level. But now some water has reached into the tank. It is almost in the normal state or in the high state, and hence the switch which is connected to low level, that is a red switch, will be, it will be in the off state. It will be off state, unlatched, or it will go to off state. That is what we have done here. Low sensor switch, it is turned, it is going to off state. It is not turned on. Then high sensor switch, again when I was explaining about the here rung 2, okay, what I highlighted there, when manual bar auto mode is examine if closed, high sensor switch is closed, right? High sensor switch is closed, right? Only then latch coil will be energized. That is manual bar auto is closed, means this is in closed position, and high sensor switch, this is also closed, which indicates that the latch coil is energized, okay, which indicates that the sensor, now the height of the tank is high. So for this status indication, what we are using, we are glowing the yellow light. Yellow light is glown. What is this yellow light? This is for high level. Just we'll go back and see it. This is for high level, yellow light. Okay. So these are the three statuses and how we are monitoring and how we are writing the ladder rung program here. So this may be asked in examination to explain process used to control the level of water in a storage tank along with the ladder diagram. Then you have to draw the figure. This figure should be drawn. You all have to start with what is the process here, what is off position, manual mode, automatic mode, for what all they are used, what is low level, high level, status slides. Okay, explain about them and then draw the ladder diagram and explain. Any difficulty here, students, in this ladder diagram? If you understand the process here, according to this process, it should be written. Whatever is a problem, whatever is a process, accordingly, the ladder rung diagram should be drawn. Okay, just go on analyzing here. First, it is at low level. Then, when it is at low level, the switch which is for low level, that is red, should be activated, and low level sensor should be activated. Okay, then the status will be latched at the initial condition. But when the water tank
Sir,
is water, yes, please.
so there is no animation for this, sir.
Animation, I'll check. I'll send in the group. I'll just check. Sure.
Okay,
I'll
sir.
just check and I'll send. Definitely, I'll send in the group.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Okay. So here you all have to just analyze here. Once it reaches the required level in the tank, then what will happen? High sensors which will sense that, and it indicates the high sensing. That is high level. Yellow light will be glown like that. It is an analysis process. Once the analysis is done, according to the analysis, the step by step, go step by step. Okay, first we are taking rung 1. In the rung 1, everything is in off state. Okay, we are using all the conditions: manual, auto mode, low sensor switch, off on, motor. It is in off state. Then next one, rung 2. In parallel branch, manual bar auto mode, we are latching the condition, whatever we have stored for the low status of the tank. Okay, then manual bar auto mode, high sensor switch, both are activated. We are energizing the latch coil, which indicates high status in the tank. One condition is low status of the tank, another condition is high status of the tank. First, we have to be clear with this. Low status, enter in the ladder rung diagram, then latch it, then enter the high status. Once you are done with that, then go for unlatching whatever you latched earlier, because the tank starts to fill now. Because if it is in, suppose if it is in low state, if it is in high state, no problem, but when it is in low state, you have to fill the tank, right? Then unlatch the previous condition, that is the fourth one. Then fifth one, according to the status what you have shown in the rung 1, rung 2 and rung 3, just activate those particular indicators. The fourth one, rung here, what we are doing, motor is activated here, correct? Then green light will be glowing, which indicates the pump is in running state. Then low sensor switch, when you are activated here, then you have to turn on the red, which indicates low level. Then here in the next rung, here you have indicated second rung, high sensor switch, where you are energizing the latch coil for latching. That is, for high sensor switch, what is the status? It is yellow light, or the yellow indicator will be glowing. This is how we will have to draw the ladder rung diagram. Okay, I hope it is clear now, students. Any difficulties here? I'll send the animation. Definitely, I will look into that and I will send you all in the group. Any difficulty here, students? Just if you have any questions, anything you can ask. Manohar, any questions? Manohar,
Sir, explain that
Mahesh,
third rung once again.
third rung. Okay, I'll come to that. This is the manual bar auto, and this is in closed condition. This is in closed condition. We have pressed it. Okay, because we are using that, we have pressed it. It is closed. Examine if closed. Low sensor switch. Low sensor switch. This is now examine if open. We are releasing it. Why it is released? Because now the tank has started to fill. It is not in low position now. Initially, it was in low position when we wrote here. Initially, right? It was in low position. Now it is in low, not in low position. Now it is not in low position, and then the tank has started to fill. And then what we have to do, whatever previous one we have latched here, either here or here, we have latched the previous condition. Now we have to unlatch that. That is, that bit we have to make it 0, because we have already started to fill the tank, right? That the bit does not require here, so we have to reset that bit. Whatever one status we had stored earlier, we don't require that now, correct? So we are unlatching that condition. That is the unlatch coil here. Then this manual bar auto mode, it is in parallel branch. It is also for a similar condition. We are releasing this manual bar auto switch. So once we release it, again we don't need the status bit, that is a latch condition, because we are releasing the manual mode also, we are releasing the automatic mode also. Okay, suppose if it is released in the manual or automatic mode, both are released when it is in after the latching of the condition. After the latching of the condition, we don't require the status bit, is it not? It is already in latch state. Then once the tank has started to fill, we'll reset that bit whatever we had latched earlier. So for resetting that bit again, even when the manual bar auto that is contact here, internal relay contact, if it is in open state, it is energized, the unlatched coil will also be energized to unlatch the bit or to make that bit 0, to reset that bit which was set earlier. Okay, is it clear here? I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Any other questions, students? Any other questions? If you have any other questions, you all can ask. Otherwise, we'll continue in the next class. Next is converting relay schematics into PLC ladder programs. Okay, where we'll be taking up sequential circuits, combinational controls. Okay, then furnace controller, automatic controller, furnace controller, automatic process based on the set point value and the measured value. The sequential process flow diagram. Okay. So that those things we'll take up in the next class, right? So any doubts here, students? When shall we conduct one more extra class? Shall we take on Monday? Monday, 8:30 to 9:30. Is it okay for you? Monday, students? I hope it's okay. Monday, 8:30 to 9:30.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no. So we'll conduct one more class. Please ask your other classmates to be present. I'll also message in the group, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I hope there are no difficulties here, students. If you are having any questions, any doubts, any problem in understanding, you all can ask. Enoch, any problem in understanding the discussion of today's class?
No, sir. I understand.
Okay. Saval?
No, sir.
Clear, Saval? What are you discussed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Prasad?
Sir, I'm getting confusion in latch, sir.
Latch. Okay. What is your confusion there? In which slide you want me to explain? Exactly what is your confusion? You tell me. What is your question? Prasad.
Sir, in the first rung.
First rung. The last topic you are telling.
Yes, sir.
Last topic, ladder rung. Okay, I'll come to that. Yes. What is your doubt in this first rung? Yes.
Sir, I'm not understanding what is the need of that parallel branch of latch.
Yes. I'll come to that. Now, if we want to know the importance of this parallel branch, we have to know what is the meaning of latch or unlatch. Latch means whatever output we have got, that is retained even after the switch is released. Even after the switch is released, whatever switches we are using in our application, after we release those switches, right, even after that, the one should be present, or it should remain in the previous state. Whatever was the energized state or de-energized state, it should remain in the previous state. For that purpose, we are using what are called as latched coils or the unlatched relay coils. Okay, so the meaning or the importance of this is that we are latching that bit. Whatever was the previous status here, whatever is the previous status, whatever we are using or energizing the motor, we want to latch that. We want to retain it. Even after the manual or auto mode has been released, or even after the sensor switches have been released, we want to retain it. So for that sake, we are using the parallel branch here. This is normally if open, manual or auto mode, it is normally open. So we are releasing this. So after releasing also, we can get the whatever previous condition we had got. Okay, whatever previous output we have got, we will be still getting that even after manual bar auto switch has been released. Now just think, try to imagine here. There is a switch, you are closing the switch, current is flowing in the circuit. Just I am giving one example. Okay, the current is flowing or the ladder rung becomes true, right? Suppose if you are releasing the switch, whether the current will flow? Current will flow whether in
No,
the
sir.
switch? No, or the logic will not become true for the rung because it is open state. Correct, it becomes false if it is in open state. Yes, so it is once the switch is open, there will be no current or the rung becomes false, that particular rung becomes false, but still it is possible to maintain the true state of the rung even the switch has been released. Even after the switch has been released, it is definitely possible to maintain the previous state, the true state, whatever we had during the closing of the switch. Okay, so for that sake they are using this latch or unlatch condition. Now it is clear, students?
Yes,
Now
sir.
it is
Clear.
clear. Okay, any other questions, students? What about other students? Manohar, any doubts? Prasad,
So no doubts.
clear? Prasad, any other
Clear,
questions?
sir. Clear.
Okay,
No, sir.
fine. Okay, fine, then we'll continue in the next class, students. Thank you.